they've made the decision, we've made the decision, you're going to have to die. And then he just got up from the sofa and just dived on me and started to choke me.
Well, the clip, of course, from your movie, Jack, God Bless Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it was a very, very powerful moment when you're both talking about that moment you described earlier when you tried to throttle Sharon to death. You know, you were clearly feeling in extreme danger in that moment, but you couldn't remember any of that. And Sharon talks about your eyes going sort of crazy, and she didn't even recognise the real Ozzy there. I mean, that's an extraordinary moment to reach, isn't it?
I don't know, because I can't remember.
And that's his excuse. He's sticking to it.
No, believe me, if I honestly could remember, I'd say, darling, I'm sorry, you
It's slightly surreal that having a laughing conversation. Oh yes, and you tried to kill me.
Well, in a funny way, in the movie, it was a bit surreal watching that, because Sharon was able to kind of deal with it in a relatively calm way, when in fact it must have been at the time just, I mean, grotesque, wasn't it?
It was pretty damn scary because, you know, you're in a house, no neighbors each side, your kids are asleep, you know, you're on your own. What the hell do you do? You know, it's frightening.
But you must have thought to yourself, what am I doing here? Why am I staying in this? What was the answer when you asked yourself that?
Oh, God, yeah, many times. I would consider it, and I'd go through the scenarios in my head. And that one time when you know, Ozzy was arrested, we were parted for 3 months. And, of course, the first month it was like, oh, heaven, no arguments. There's, you know, lovely atmosphere in the house, and it's great. And then the second month, you know, the kids are, where's Dad? We really want to see Dad. And I want to really see Dad too. And then by the third month, you know, it's like, oh, we can make it work.
I mean, I wouldn't imagine that you're ever a shrinking violet in any relationship, Sharon.
Oh no, as hard as Ozzy would hit me, I would clobber him back. If ever he went to hit me, I would just go right back for him.
And Jack, when you hear that, these are your parents talking about punching each other as hard as they can.
Yeah.
What do you feel when you hear that?
Honestly, it's just kind of...
Chauvinism.
No, not even. No, it just nothing. Because to me, that, I mean, they never really did it in front of us. It was never like a, you know, out in the middle of the living room, blow for blow. It was always like when the kids are tucked in bed, you'd hear some almighty ruckus downstairs, and you'd come down, and it'd be like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, nothing. Everything's fine." You know, meanwhile, someone's got an ice pack on their face.
But what if I always told you?
What? Never in front of the kids?
No.
What?
Never hit a girl.
No, you never hit a girl. No.
That's great. I've got long hair, and I mean, never hit a girl. No. So though you can hit us guys.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I mean, I was saying that though. I think physical violence is wrong, but also mental violence, mental abuse. I mean, women are great at that mental thing.
But do you feel, Ozzy, you're a completely different human being now?
Well, yeah, it's 20 to 4, I'm still, I don't know where I am, you know.
Yeah, I mean, for 20 years or more, you just often wouldn't come forward.
Because that's what I thought you did. I just thought you'd get success in the rock and roll and just get loaded, you know, happily ever after.
And to put the flip side on it, was it for a long time great fun being Ozzy?
It was great fun until it wasn't. Oh, it's as if, I mean, Sharon will tell you this. I used to be fun out, going to the pub and allowed doing crazy things and fun. But then the coin flipped to the side. And I didn't drink because I wanted to. I drank because I had to, you know.
What was the moment of awakening for you? When did you think, you know what, enough of this?
I don't know. I'd stop. The first thing that I quit, I don't know why, was cigarettes. I never woke up in a jail from smoking too many cigarettes. But I just woke up, I just came back from rehearsals one day, and I just went, I can't do this. I'm a singer, you know, my voice has got all the time. And the rest of it toppled down like a domino, you know, I just...
Was it once you realised you could give up something, you realised you had to do something?
I had, you know, they say, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, for instance, I'd put the patch on. Not have a cigarette all day, take it up at night and reward myself with a cigarette. You know, that's like, you know, I don't do this, I try different combinations. And you know, and then I had a conversation with myself where I said, look, are you going to do it or not? Because you're driving me and everybody around you mad. That was it, really. I made a decision and stuck to it.
Sharon, would you go along with that?
No. Jack had got himself clean and sober. And I'm not sure how long he was into his sobriety, but I think it was about a year. And we came home one day, the family, and Ozzy was in his, what we call his bunker, and completely out of it. He'd fallen from the chair onto the floor. He was crumpled on the floor. He was covered in piss and booze. And
had you pissed on me as well?
And Jack just cracked up. Jack just absolutely lost it. And I think that when Ozzy got sober, you know, the next day and realized what had happened, I think it shamed him. And I think shame has a lot to do with it.
You don't agree, Ozzy?
No. I've been shamed before, I've been in prison before, I've been all that. The thing comes when you make that decision, you go, I need help, I'm going to get help, I want to stop.
So it wasn't Jack reacting to you?
Maybe it was, I can't remember having that, what Sharon just said, but the decision came from that inner me. I got fed up with myself, you know.
Jack, do you remember the incident your mum's talking about?
Yeah, well, I mainly remember the argument that I had with my dad the next day, because it was after, because right when I got sober, Dad was kind of trying along with me, and he was kind of jumping on and off the wagon, and it was after his motorcycle accident that he basically shattered his body, and he was on a bunch of pain medication, and it was like around the time, it was around April or May 2004. Yeah, something like that. And we just got in a big argument because he was still kind of self-administering his pain meds and getting a bit creative.
Give me any pain meds.
You had a because that's where the argument came from. Because you were like, I
think it's fair to say, Ozzy, that I'm lending my ears more to the memory banks to my right than I am to my left on this.
But, you know, whatever it was, the result was good. It doesn't matter the series of events that led up.
Well, the result was great, because Ozzy, you've been clean, properly clean, the whole time I've known you, which is the last 5 years. And from what I can detect from talking to your family, I mean, you feel like you've got your father, proper father. Sharon's got a proper Ozzy husband back, and your life is a totally different life together now. I want to take a short break, and then I want to come back and talk to you about two what I think were really huge moments in the Osbourne family life. One was when Sharon got cancer. The other was when you, Ozzy, nearly got killed coming off that bike, the quad bike in Britain.